Kia ora koutou katoa. From time to time I give a sermon or a short homily at a wedding, and I was encouraged to share this one with you. I begin with that wonderful poem by Edward Lear. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea-green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped up in a 5-pound note. The owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a sweet guitar, small guitar. Oh, lovely pussy, oh pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are, you are. What a beautiful pussy you are. Pussy said to the owl, "Ah, you elegant fowl, but how charmingly sweet you sing. Too long we have tarried, oh let us be married, but what shall we do for a ring?" They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grew, and there in a wood a piggy-wig stood, with a ring in the end of his nose, with a ring in the end of his nose. "Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring?" Said the piggy, "I will." So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lived on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon. Hand in hand on the edge of the sand, they danced by the light of the moon, They danced by the light of the moon. The message of this poem is that marriage is part of an adventure, involving some preparation, some honey, plenty of money, considerable risk, sailing away for a year and a day, some negotiation, think of the pig and that ring, and lots of singing, dancing, and romance. A pity Lear didn't pen a sequel 40 years on. Would the owl still be playing the guitar? Would they still be dancing on moonlit nights? Would poetry still be important? My experience tells me guitar playing, dancing, and poetry would still be important if the couple prioritized them. But often, unfortunately, other things take precedence. Lear's real message, I think, is that love is not particularly logical. Think of the progeny of an owl and pussycat. Reasoning, logic, and facts, and matters of the head all have their place. But love is more akin to poetry and dance and song and matters of the heart. I'm not often asked to give a homily at a wedding. It's probably because couples think ministers know very little about marriage, and they may be right. Or it might be that ministers know they know very little about marriage and think it wiser not to prove it. Or it might be that ministers know that marriage, at its most poignant, is sacred, and words are insufficient descriptors of the sacred. When I use the word sacred, I'm pointing to a quality of love that holds in its compass blessing and suffering, certainty and tentativeness, kindness and courage, hope and heartache. Love that is sacred is like a dance, moving, changing, as we, the music, the dance floor, the steps, all change as the years go by. But we stay connected, sometimes indivisibly close, sometimes connected only by a look or a feeling. You might think you're never going to change, and you might be right. Until a child or an incident or an unfortunate event disrupts your well-ordered world. Then you'll discover that all the love you've been sharing has created a reservoir of trust. And it is such trust that will be the ballast in your keel when the storms come. Sometimes I think a good marriage is about getting lucky. How did you know that your friendship with each other would catch on fire, and that fire would not be the destructive kind, but the warm, secure, and energizing kind? Some might say that's due to God. But then many Christian marriages turn turtle. So I use the word luck. But luck is not the full story. For if your marriage is to be of the warm, secure, and energizing kind of fire, you need to feed it regularly and properly. You need to feed it with logs of loyalty, gratitude, patience, kindness, time, and touch. Also, you feed that fire by service to others, those who are suffering, those less fortunate than ourselves. So you need to learn the singing, dancing, and romance, the poetry that feeds your souls. Then you'll know you've been blessed by the sacredness of love.